little bitter.
Not too bitter,
Not too
but
bitter.
it's a little tough.
Okay. And then,
Well,
and then they see you got,
the
they got,
aftertaste.
yeah, it's
Can you see?
They got onions. Say, come on in.
Here, I'll scoop them so you can see.
Yeah, come on in. And there's some more onions back here. They've been using these more for green onions, okay? And like you
Right.
can see down here, look, see how big that bulb's gonna get? Yeah.
Nice and healthy, no
No, just
Yeah,
your
look,
house.
I mean, these peas
the
are
main
beautiful.
one.
Look at all the white
At
flowers.
the end
They're
of
all
our,
gonna be,
our class.
yeah, just like this.
Those are onions, right?
Yeah, yeah. All it is just these, and I mean, you can see it's not
I don't
like
recognize that. What's
super.
this?
That is a pepper plant that I don't know why they haven't pulled it out yet, but Dylan and Ryan's grandfather loved peppers. Shelly's father, and so
The hotter the better.
it's just tiny little peppers.
Peppers are great.
Okay.
No, they're not.
Okay, so now behind you, you can kind of see how the this is how we're talking about
their thing, not yours.
Yeah.
Okay, and then there's just these little drips like this, right? And so what he's probably going to do here, I'm not real sure. Last year, see the trellises?
Yeah.
That's where they had the cucumbers, and they were beautiful, nice green. I mean, and they hung down. They were beautiful cucumbers. And then over here,
On fire.
you can check over
I
here.
was impressed.
This section right here is the tomatoes. So he's got his tomatoes right there, and you know these. Let's see, these 5 tomatoes right here, they're gonna get huge.
Yep.
And then he'll see how they've got the hairs to tie them up so they don't flop over.
Did he bring in the soil?
So what on this one on the garden boxes? Yeah, they got the soil in. I don't. Do you remember where you guys bought the soil?
But we had a whole load.
Yeah, like a truckload. Yeah. And then what Dylan did is, and this is what I do the same thing on my garden boxes every year. I'll go get just a 3 cubic foot. I think it's the compost. That, right? Yeah, it's a bag of compost.
I know.
That's what it was.
This is neat how they
And
did
just
that.
like an inch to 2 inches on the top of the garden box. Because like over time, right, it just keeps breaking down, and so you fill back up and
that
breaks
lettuce?
down. So every year.
Have you ever used rabbit poop? What do they
That's
call
pretty good.
It does. It works really good.
No, I've never actually knew.
And
Bird
there's-
is the best. Chicken.
oh,
chicken is
chicken,
Yeah.
chicken manure.
Chicken-
Okay,
chicken's
that's
not
not
though.
true.
Well,
The very best is human compost.
Oh,
There's nothing better than that.
Oh, that's sick.
Oh yeah.
that's okay.
Okay,
I,
there's
I've
also
worked in
like
composting. I've actually worked at the
know.
largest indoor composting facility in North America for a while.
Thank you.
Yeah, you could put several football fields in there. It's in Edmonton, Canada.
okay, so come over here. This is the remainder of the Brussels sprouts. Oh, so right here in this section, he had I mean, you should see some of the broccoli. It was massive. So this is he left this there. He's hoping that it like you can see like
Yeah, I see that.
okay, see, but this stock like a extremely healthy Brussels sprout stock would be upright, and those things would be all these on the side would be almost the size of this one right
Right,
there.
right.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and they
Had a few worms.
little bugs, but like I said, right here they had cauliflower, broccoli, and it was all really good. This is the Brussels sprouts, and this was all from seed.
Oh, wow.
The seed. I gave him seed, and it took off. You know, like so.
And he planted all this in November, which is
No, well the tomatoes he just planted.
Right.
Like he's getting started right now, but this stuff here, and the peas, the onions. I think it was like
All by seed.
towards the end of October, first part of November.
That's awesome.
So yeah, and it's crazy. Those peas right now, probably 3 or 4 weeks ago when it was still cold. I'm not kidding. They were like only this tall. And like the last month, they just since it's got a little warmer, just boom.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, I told them too because there's like, hey, they're not really growing. I said, just wait. As soon as the weather gets a little warm, they'll just take off.
I have one for you, Kyle. Have you planted pole beans around corn yet?
No, I've heard about that though.
I didn't. I don't know.
You gonna
I don't
try
have
it?
enough room. No, I don't have enough room.
Oh, okay.
But they work together. Corn depletes nitrogen. Beans put it back in.
Yeah.
So it's a complementary planting.
Yeah, in fact,
I want to do it, but you know, it's my front courtyard. Or my dad's house.
You gotta
At my
have a
dad's
pretty
house, we
good
have room,
square
so
for corn.
It doesn't matter.
yeah,
And we always bring in truckloads of compost. So it just doesn't matter.
right. So Dylan's trying to get his dad to let him put this brick wall to the end of the house here. You know, because all this ground cover it's, you know, I mean, it looks nice, but you can't eat it, right? Yeah. But so the whole point, the reason why I wanted to bring you guys back here is to show you guys like basically you just try to make do with what you got, right? Those garden boxes, you can look, they're really nice. They're not the biggest, but I mean,
Did he make them?
yeah. And these ones are made. All this is so this lumber is they're 8 inches.
Okay.
So just the
2 by 8s.
Yeah, I think it was like you can get them at Home Depot, like they're 12-foot lengths. But these are 8 inches wide, but actually they're like 7.5. So together they're 15 inches, right?
Okay.
And so between the 15 inches and then the soil underneath where they rip the sod out, the roots like on tomato plants and like tomato plants, anywhere from 18 to 20 inches, sometimes 22 inches, they'll go down. So like if this is 15 inches and there's a 14 inches worth of soil, well, he's got, another 6 inches of ground down below.
Do you put a liner in that?
I built boxes like this, but
Yeah.
I
He
was so
didn't.
worried about stuff growing like gophers or
Not
Okay.
stuff
usually,
growing
but you
up
can
that I
put,
put
like
weed
she was
cloth
talking about
and
wire,
like
chicken wire
under 'em,
underneath, so that
the roots can't
animals won't come up from underneath.
Yeah, if you put the weed cloth, yeah, that'd be hard. But
I
yeah,
don't
like,
think so.
like
Because
you-
my daughter
yeah,
builds
I would pull it out,
planter
yeah.
boxes like that.
But like some of this stuff, like these peas, if anybody's grown sugar peas before, the root system on these is not very deep. They don't need lots of room. But like tomatoes, like they're a deep one. They like deep root, and so like this. That's why I built mine the same height, 15 inches of soil, and then below it I put more soil in, and mine do great.
So you dug out the ground and put new soil in, then put your planter box and filled it with soil?
No, here they just ripped out the sod
Okay.
and then put these boxes in, and then this is just a little decorative wood chip for
Right.
a walkway here.
Oh, yeah.
On mine I did the same thing, but where mine is I had dirt and it was like decomposed granite.
Yeah.
So I scraped it all out and I brought in like maybe I
Okay.
don't know that deep, not that much, because I was gonna build garden box, right? So I figured if I had about this much soil underneath the garden box, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
Which is about 6 inches, and then another,
So-
15, so that's 21 inches. So
Like
I'm-
they just took like what, a 2 by 2 or
So
something?
so these
And then
these
nailed
corner,
it in the
this is a
corners.
4x4,
4 by
and
4.
yeah, you can get those in at Home Depot like 8 foot
Right.
long, and you
And
just cut them. You cut
They'll
'em-
even cut them for you,
yeah,
won't they?
yeah, they'll cut them for you. Cut them 15 inches, because that's the length of the board. Or in his case, he went a little long. You can see how there's a little gap here, but that's okay because there's soil underneath there. It's not
Right.
it's not busting out. So the 15 to 50.
And do you put like chicken wire underneath yours or anything? Okay.
No, just
I mean, you could.
you could absolutely.
You could.
Because the roots can still get through.
Right.
But I didn't worry about it. And these ones, we went the extra mile and stained them, just to
They're
make them
beautiful.
so they'll last a little longer.
Yeah.
And then on mine, he didn't do it on his, but I got the pond lining and lined the inside of mine. So
Just on the
just on the
outside.
inner side where the
Yeah.
soil was gonna rest, so it didn't like rot out the wood.
That was somebody's question.
But the
Okay.
pond lining it was way more expensive than I thought it would be. But all I did is I lined the inside of it and stapled it with a staple
Yeah.
gun, and it's
Kyle,
doing fine. Yes, sir.
you can buy a roof, old patch roofing, O'Henry's, paint it on.
Oh, that's a good
They didn't
idea.
get spray stuff, a little more expensive now.
Yeah.
But it's waterproof.
Do you worry about
Just go with Redwood.
chemicals from those things leaching in though? Like
So if you use redwood,
Yeah, some people say that, On ours, I don't know if he stayed inside. Actually, yeah, we did the inside and outside, but I don't feel like we were affected by it. I've read that before. And I was like, oh, don't stain it because if you do, the toxins are going to leach into the soil, and then which the plants are going to absorb it. And
or I read you have to get untreated lumber.
or untreated lumber. Yeah, that for sure. This was all untreated lumber. All we did was add a coat of staining to like make it to wood last, maybe 2 or 3 years longer.
Yeah, I had my boxes in 2 years. They're fine, but they're not gonna last.
She used to stain this?
Yeah, I've seen those things. That's why I said, okay, look, I'm gonna spend a little bit extra money, stain them, and put the pond lining inside so I can get as much mileage out as I can.
So you stain, what type of wood is this?
It's just from Home Depot. I think it's Douglas fir.
Douglas fir?
Yeah.
And then you stain it?
Yep.
And
And these
anything
are
else to treat it?
no, just stain it. And then I was telling him
Or you
I put
can
a
paint it
pond
with
lining
tar.
on the inside, just to
what?
pond mining.
Tar.
Yeah, mining. You know how like they line ponds with that like thick
Black.
Black.
Okay.
yeah, pond, yeah. Just on the inside part, not on the bottom of the box, just where the wood
To
was
keep
gonna
it from rotting on the inside.
yeah.
Getting ready to get your
Yeah. So and it's worked. Yeah, it's
How
his,
long do these last if you do it right?
well, see, I'm going my third year, and they still look great.
So what do you do when you rotate? You do a new crop. Do you have to like?
So what? Last year he had tomatoes and peppers in here, right?
Okay. So just don't do that this time. Do something else and it'll be fine, or you have to rotate it.
Yeah. So
You have to get new soil or no?
So I think what he's gonna put in here. No, all on the garden boxes, your soil's fine. All I do is every year I just go get a bag of. It's a 3 cubic feet, not a yard. You just need like one of those bigger bags from the store, and
Because
just
you lost some like.
yeah, exactly, and just 1 inch at the top, compost only, and then you just rake it in there, and it's good to go. And then yeah, so he's gonna do like melon, or not melons, but zucchini in this one.
even in the summer.
Because he had like cucumbers and stuff up there, so he's gonna move those trellises, and I don't know where he's gonna do cucumbers because he can't put them in the same spot again. So he might just do in this box. And then see these peas, he's gonna have good peas probably till like April 15th, and then maybe even the end of April, and then he's gonna rip them out, and he could put summer crop in there because he still has plenty of time. Does that make sense? And all those onions he'll be able to harvest.
peas?
What's that?
When do you start peas?
You can do them right now by seed.
I mean, when do you think he started those?
Oh, those, I was telling these guys, it was end of October, first part of November. By seed, yeah. And like about 3 or 4 weeks ago, seriously, they were like only this high. And as soon as it started getting warm, they just shot up. I mean, look how beautiful those are. Green, all these white flowers, they'll turn into the pods here. If he was here, I'd ask him if we could pick some. They're so good. They're delicious. Sugar peas are one of my favorite ones. And the kids love them too. They come out here and like, pick handfuls of them. Kids do so. And the onions, yeah. So what'll happen is towards the end of April, he'll have harvested enough peas, and the onions will be ready. He'll rip everything out, and then put like 1 inch of compost in there, rake it in, and then replant a summer crop. So he could do in this box. He could do. He can't do tomatoes, I don't think. I don't remember what he planted last year, but he'll have to rotate it and make sure like he puts something different in there. Why? Because you want to rotate. You missed that first part. You want to.
Soil or what? The soil?
Well,
It just-
different plants deplete the soil
Right.
differently.
Oh, is that
It's
right?
nutrient depletion.
Oh.
So if
Yeah.
you rotate, it's like Kyle and I were just talking about the corn with beans. Corn sucks nitrogen out.
Okay.
Huge. I mean, you'll just have bare dirt after you plant.
Pump it out.
Yeah. Beans have lots of.
I'm gonna try.
Line of
Thank
corn.
you so much for
They
Oh, you're
rotate the
welcome. Good luck.
crops. Soybeans.
Thanks for
put it
coming.
back in
Do onions
Corn
make the soil
takes it out.
taste onion?
because
No.
in Iowa they don't
and,
water it,
they're so
fertilize.
good.
They just
Every
expect
year I
God to
plant
make
tons of
things grow.
onions because they
Yeah,
store
if you have a week that it doesn't
and my
rain,
wife's always
love
cooking
onions,
with me,
too.
right? You just go in the garage and like
unjustness.
go to the
Like
basket of onions, pull it out.
That's all summer long.
What kind of onion? You can use the
type thing.
tops
But-
as green
but
onions,
crop
but
rotation.
then
So
underneath
all-
also harvest that.
Yeah, all a green onion is a premature.
Different plants
Regular
do
onion.
different things
Yeah.
with the soil.
So like right now,
potatoes
if you wanted a
don't
large
have
green
any
onion,
fungus.
you could harvest this one right here.
Really? Nope. Fungus.
See this?
Almost killed all of Ireland because they didn't do
See how
that.
nice that is? That would just be a
Jade family was a fungus.
fairly large green onion,
And the English
and then
don't
if you just
care
leave it
because
in
they
there,
want to wear the Irish
it'll
anyway.
start getting a bulb at the bottom.
Excuse me, I
got
gotta play through. I'm gonna get left.
Yeah,
They're all leaving.
we'll see you. Thanks for the rain. Okay.
Hey, thank
So,
you.
yeah, thanks for coming. Appreciate it. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
So anyway, those will. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
So you just sink these guys down about a foot in the ground?
No, all we did on these is
Resting on top, right?
15. These are 15 inches.
This thing though.
Yeah, it's a 4x4 post.
Yeah.
And just cut it 15 inches, which is these are 8x2s by 2 inches thick, 8 inches wide by. You can get them in 8-foot lengths, 12-foot lengths.
Oh, so you're not sinking these posts
No,
in
it's
the
just
ground.
sitting on top.
Just sitting on top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
You can
exactly.
leave that post longer and then put chicken wire around
Yep.
it, but then it makes it hard to weed.
Yeah, she's exactly right.
Okay.
Yeah, this was just the basic So what we did in the Meriden Hills ward, like I think 5 years ago, when these guys were priests, we offered a service project to anybody in the ward that we'd build them a garden box, and for cost.
Really?
Yeah. And I mean, we ended up losing money because instead of these like cheaper screws, we did those really big, heavy
Galvanized or?
bolt screws though. Like where we took it was like 1 inch, and I mean these things weren't gonna fall apart. So we didn't calculate, and those bolts weren't cheap.
These are just
But
galvanized nails.
yeah, these are cheaper, you know, to bring the cost down. But anyway, we ended up building I think like 11 or 12 that spring through the early summer for just random families, and so that's kind of where it started, and we kind of like, as you know, process, trial and error, like okay, we like this way, we like this way, and this 15, because you can buy lumber that's 12 inches wide, so that would be like from here to about right here. And a lot of the pre-fab ones you get at the store or at the, you know, like Sam's Club selling them now, I think Costco is, Home Depot, right? A lot of them are like 12 inches tall. Well, the reason why I don't like those is because it's only 12 inches. And if you want to grow like tomatoes and plants from the nightshade family, you need a deeper soil, right? So, and I didn't want to go to 12 inches, because then if you have 12 inches, you're looking at 24 inches, which is like
too tall.
yeah, and then you got to fill in more dirt, which is more money, right? So I was like, okay, this is gonna be perfect height as long as we plant it on pre-existing dirt that's somewhat good, right? So this here was saw, they just ripped it out and then filled, you know, so this is actually 7.5 and 7.5, so it's total 15 inches, and then filled up to the top. And
Is this 4x8?
I think that's about what it looks like. Yeah,
Here, I'll
4x8.
I'll measure this off.
That looks like about 4x8. Yeah.
I have a different question for you.
Yeah.
So I planted fruit trees, and the fruit has been really mealy. Do you know what could cause that? Like overwatering?
When you say mealy, what?
Like the peaches are a gross texture, like
Oh, really?
Not firm.
kind of mushy, but like stringy on the inside,
Oh,
and
okay,
kind
yeah,
of
that's-
like if it could be grainy. I mean,
Yeah,
it's a weird texture.
Do you know what variety it is?
I forget. When I looked it up, it was supposed to be ones that grew well in our area, and I went to the nursery that's on the way to Menifee, and I bought trees there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ciao, everybody.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming.
I don't
So-
really know what I'm doing, but I've.
No, that's great. You're trying, because most
Lab, stay on fire.
You too. I'm gonna come. I expect a full crop.
most fruit trees like
about
what's
3
called
weeks to see if
to
that
go into like a
I'm gonna be like
where they go.
Pocahontas.